Alright, guys. Finally, today, we're going to be talking about the Maxx mules that I tested. Two different examples from two different people. Did mark this one with red paracord, so I know for sure whose is whose. And I did try a paracord wrap on this one, however, didn't like the way it came out or how it felt. So, ended up just using them like this. Didn't have any problems cutting with them. I know everybody's excited to see what this will do. Tom has tested it. I actually had the cutting done way before Tom put his video out. Sometimes things just don't work out and you can't get videos out right away. So I'll be talking about both of those. Talk about how it compares to Maxamet. A little bit longer cutting this time. Shrunk it down as much as I could. I believe these are about 30 times overspeed. So we'll go ahead and get through those real quick and come back and talk about how both of these did. Now that we got that cutting out of the way, go ahead and show you guys something. I don't remember if I've ever shown this before. This happens every knife, every test. If you take a look right here, that area right there you're looking at, where you can see all the weird light reflection, that is the 1-inch section that I use to test on. This happens every knife, every test, no matter how little or how much it cuts. You don't need magnification to see it. You can also observe it as you're doing a test. You can see the different ways that a steel breaks down. Always shows up. Just figured I'd show you guys. Don't recall if I ever had. So I'm going to start out with how this sharpens, and I'll compare it to Maxamet. A lot of people seem to struggle with Maxamet for whatever reason. I find Maxamet to be straightforward and pretty easy to sharpen. The Z-Maxx sharpens even easier, in my experience, than the Maxamet does. The Z-Maxx moves metal faster using the same diamond plates. No matter how I sharpened either one of these, I had no problems whatsoever. You do get a burr a lot quicker than on Maxamet using the exact same technique. Which brings me to an interesting thing. One of two things, and well, I suppose it could be three things. We're either never going to see Z-Maxx again from Spyderco. My take on it is I believe that Z-Maxx may end up replacing Maxamet as a production on some of their knives, kind of how Maxamet is right now. Or this is for a model that we have yet to see, and maybe it's going to have Z-Maxx on it. Either way, I like the Z-Maxx. Zero problem sharpening. They both sharpen about the same, and I will be getting a hardness on these, as well as the S45VN Para 3 and some other stuff that I have, and I'll put an actual hardness video together talking about the different hardnesses of some of these knives. So we'll save that for another one. I just didn't have time to get the hardness before I did this video. So both sharpened well, no problems, absolutely no problems deburring, no problems deburring Maxamet. Z-Maxx deburred just as easy as Maxamet for me, mostly on the stones. Now, that's the difference, though, I think that's notable. Maxamet, I can pretty much get rid of my entire burr on a stone with this. So when I go to the strop, there's almost nothing there. When I say nothing, with a flashlight, it is extremely small and not totally along the entire apex. Now, the Z-Maxx here, while they had a burr, most times I did not need a flashlight to see it. I could just turn it in the light when I was sharpening them and see the burr. However, it does deburr. Zero problems. I had no problems deburring these. I'd say 3, 4, 5 passes and it was deburred. Checking with a flashlight, pretty much nothing left on either one. I'll start out with this one. It's at the top of my sheet. And I did factory, the very first edge, the third edge, and the fourth edge on both of these. Yes, it was a ton of cutting. So factory edge on this one, same with the first edge. I only did the total amount cut in a 1-inch section. And the one with the red paracord on it, the factory edge, I got 114 feet total. That was it. The other one, factory edge, 163 feet total. About a 50-foot difference. As you guys have seen before, factory edges, they usually don't do good. I think one of the better factory edges so far has been a Rex 45 Mannix. I believe, and I think it just barely broke 200 feet, maybe. Usually factory edges don't do good. First edge, sharpen these. Now I only took these to 600 grit, stropped them the same way, 6.3, 1 micron. Because this is a steel with a ton of carbide volume in it, I wanted to give it the best shot possible. I don't have time to do Z-Maxx polished. Now this one I do have more time with if I need it, so I may do a quick polished edge retention test with this one just to see what happens. I'm not positive what's going to happen. I do have a pretty good idea that it might not be as good as the course testing was, but you never know. Just going to set these down so I don't have to hold them. So this one here on the first edge, 260 total feet in a 1-inch section. So about a close to 150 foot improvement. Then this one here, the first sharpened edge, 414 feet total. So quite a big difference. Really seeing a spread between these two now. Go ahead and show you guys this now. My only take on this and why one didn't do so good in the beginning could be for whatever reason, the one here with the red paracord, the blade is not quite as tall as this one, and it is just a hair shorter. Maybe they put a lot more heat into this when it was sharpened, and that's why the numbers weren't so good to start out with. Don't know for sure. That's just my take on it. So then I went ahead and sharpened them the second time, dulled them out, sharpened them the third time, and went back to testing. On this one here, the third sharpened edge, 199 feet fine edge, 525 feet working edge for a total of 724 feet. So whatever may have been the issue with this one in the beginning, by the third edge, definitely gone. I didn't know how it was going to come out, and with that test, that totally took away any concern about issues with that. The one on the top here, on the third sharpened edge, 202 feet fine edge, 528 feet working edge for a total of 730 feet. Now we're doing really good. You guys go back and look at the Maxamet testing. Now you see why I think, because this has better grindability, that there may be a chance we see Maxamet go away and Z-Maxx come in. Like I said, I'm not positive on that. I'm just speculating here. So now we go to the fourth sharpened edge, the verification test. And the one on the bottom here, 203 feet fine edge, 535 feet working edge for a total of 738 feet. The top one up here, fourth sharpened edge, 208 feet fine edge, 536 feet working edge for a total of 744 feet. Right there with Maxamet. I didn't look. I have no idea what the cost on Z-Maxx is versus Maxamet. I do like the Z-Maxx. The other difference that I noticed in testing these was Maxamet kind of feels like it may be starting to dull, and during testing, even during use, it kind of feels like maybe you're starting to lose that edge. Then out of nowhere, a couple cuts later, it's as sharp as can be again, zero problems. With the Z-Maxx here, I had just the entire time a gradual dulling. And really, maybe towards the last 100 feet of cutting, prior to that, any cuts on printer paper pretty much felt exactly the same the whole time. So I really noticed a lot of the breakdown during the last 100 feet or so of cutting. Now, yes, there was some breakdown during the rest of the testing, just not as noticeable. If you guys did get one of these, awesome steel, have fun with it. I didn't pick one up. I'm glad that I was able to test these. I am not a fan of the Mule Team handle and this finger hump here. Something about it. Just don't like it. I would love to see them offer the, off the top of my head, I don't recall what it's called. It was a Bushcrafter or something like that. Mule Team knife in S30V, and it looks kind of like a native. And I would love to see the Mule Team in a native type platform, straight back, not as tall of a handle type of deal. Either way, though, that's my personal feeling on it. So what did I cut during this? It was almost 3,900 total feet of cutting to test these on the factory first, third, and fourth edge. So thank you to the guys who sent these to me to test. I will get hardness on them for another video that will be out later on this week. I'm going to try to get a polished test in on this one. Do have to get this one back to the owner. That's all I have for this one. If you guys have one and you've used it or whatever you've done with it, let me know down below how that went. Any questions? Same place. That's all I have for this one. As always, I appreciate your time and thanks for watching.